Hello, and fuck it, stop it, cut.
We are the boys from the North. Here's our bracket. Alright, first matchup is Dallas versus Vegas. Harry, what do you think?
Honestly, I'm taking Dallas here. Dallas is a very deep team, and they've got a lot of veterans. They got Pavelski, they've got Rope Hintz, Robertson. They've got young guys too, like Stankoven. And if Ottinger's on his game, he's gonna come out and just lead them through this series. Vegas has been struggling as of late. They're not themselves. I mean, they might have players coming back, but they just seem to be a weaker team than they were once thought of. And I'm going with Dallas here.
Hayden?
Yeah, it's not even close either. Dallas is going to I think they have a good chance of even 4-0ing Vegas in this round. Vegas has looked like such a former shell of themselves lately. It's kind of weird, especially Aiden Hill has also just been not there. He's been off his rocker. Thompson has not been good, and it just kind of looks like going into it losing. I mean, yeah, following in the season, they're not going to play fully, but to lose like that to the Ducks, like Aiden Hill didn't even look good in that either. It's not. It's not looking good.
I mean,
And
I'm sure it's hard to get motivated last game of the season, but
it's still though. That's not how you want to leave the regular season to go into the playoffs when you still have your guys playing. It's not like they weren't playing either. They still had their guys playing. So it's not looking too good. And Dallas, like Harrison said, just way more consistent, way more. The depth is just there. It's not going to be close. This one to me is the most blowout type of the ones to me.
really.
First round. Yeah, I do.
So I think that, especially playoffs, goaltending's so important. Like, beginning of the season, Aiden Hill was the guy. He was so good. But playoff time, Jake Ottinger, I think he's going to stand on his head and he's going to put up a wall.
I
don't think they're going to sweep. I think it's going to be 6. Because it's going to be a battle. There's this reigning Stanley Cup champs. You can't forget. Like, this is still a built team. They're getting Stone back. Jack Eichel is firing on all cylinders. Like, it's going to be a tough battle, but Jake Ottinger is the guy I would want.
Yeah, and I think he's looking for a little redemption. Because I know last year in the playoffs, he kind of started to kind of falter. And I know he probably was not very happy with himself about that. So he's got a lot to play for. So
yeah, last year was a good experience for him too. Young goalie, getting a lot of playoff experience, can only come in going stronger.
Yep.
So next we've got Winnipeg and Colorado. I want to hear some thoughts on this because this is going to be a controversial one, possibly.
So for me, this is by far the hardest decision. And I would go as far as saying is whoever wins this series is winning the cup. These two teams are so strong and so built. This is going to be a wild series. I think it's going all 7 games, and I think Winnipeg is going to take it.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Oh,
go ahead.
No, you go. Well, okay, I was just going to say I agree with you there. My major reasoning comes down to between the pipes. One team has a Vezina caliber goaltender. The other team doesn't have a 900 save percentage goaltender. I just don't trust Georgiev to be the guy. I mean, you've got McKinnon, Makar, Rantanen, and Nichushkin. You've got a stacked team, but listen, man, if your goalie is below average, that could cost you.
Wasn't Georgiev had like a 4 goals against average in like the second half of the season or something like that? What was that stat?
It was brutal. I don't have the exact stat, but he's not. Listen, I mean, I know they played him a ton, and I think he leads the league in wins, but that doesn't really mean anything if you can't stop a beach ball.
Yeah, I mean, Colorado is definitely one of the strongest offensively, but like they have to go through Hellebuck. Winnipeg's got a deep defense. They got deep lines. I think it's going to be a real battle. I think Winnipeg just going to edge it out.
So I actually don't think it's going to be that close either. I think this is going to be a 5-game series, and I think Winnipeg has this one. Georgiev looks so bad, just incredibly bad to where you would expect a goalie should be on a team like this. Winnipeg has just got lines upon lines upon lines on that team. They're just so good, and it's just going to be too much. Georgiev cannot. It's not gonna be able to. It's not gonna be able to hold him off. Simply as that. And I think the games will be close. I just think Winnipeg wins 4 of the 5 right off the bat. But they're gonna be like 1, maybe 2 goal games. But and Hellebuck is just an absolute beast. He has shown zero signs of slowing down at any point this season, and he's ready for the playoffs. So yeah, Winnipeg for sure.
I agree. I don't know about 5 games, but I agree.
Yeah, it seems a pretty strong consensus here. I mean, I like McKinnon, I like Colorado, but it seems like we're going Winnipeg here. Just insane depth and goaltending is what gives them the edge over the Avalanche.
Yep.
It's really the only flaw the Avalanche have is the only flaw.
Oh yeah,
So.
if they had a league average goaltender, they'd be cut.
Yeah, they'd probably be. Yeah.
I mean, imagine Colorado with Saros in net.
Well, that's
they'd win it.
League average.
That would be ridiculous.
Yeah,
Speaking of Saros, our next series is the Canucks and the Predators. Let's hear some thoughts on that.
Now, this is a goaltending matchup. Demko has been on fire all season. Saros too. This is 2 solid teams, just like the other 2 matchups. Solid teams. The Preds ended hot, but I think Vancouver still takes it.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that one. I like the Predators. They have really good decor and really good goaltending, and they've got a solid forward group, and they're just a deep team that can roll the lines. But when you look at it, I think the Canucks have more star talent and more superstar level talent, and they also have a stud in net with Demko. So it's going to be a good series. It's going to be a hard-fought series, but I'm going to go with the Canucks as well.
Yeah, so I have in the first round 2 series going to Game 7. This is one of them. The Predators, ever since the All-Star break, have been one of the most terrifying teams in the league. It's kind of insane. Yossi and Forsberg are just ridiculous together. But Vancouver has the depth, kind of like Winnipeg has the depth. They also have some great depth on that team. And Thatcher Demko, what a redemption season from what happened last year. Turns out he was playing injured and all that. Team looked awful. He looked awful. The 180 change this year has just been incredible to see with Demko. And Vancouver has a lot to play for. And that's why I think Vancouver will edge out the Predators in a Game 7 win to make it to the next round. But it's going to be a hard-fought battle. It's going to be a great series to watch. I'm excited to watch that, actually.
Yeah, it'll be some good, entertaining hockey. And like most series in these playoffs, it'll be fun to watch for sure.
Absolutely. I'm excited.
I mean, there's not really a matchup that I don't want to watch.
Honestly,
every team in the playoffs, maybe minus 1, but every team in the playoffs is solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd argue there's a couple somewhat more boring matchups on the board, but I'm excited for some great hockey. To finish out the first round in the West, we've got McDavid and the Oilers versus Pierre-Luc Dubois and the Kings.
PLD, eh?
The fearsome leader. What do you guys think about this one?
It's going to 7 again. Edmonton, during the regular season, beat them 3-1. I think Edmonton's going to win it again, but this is going to be one of them that is going to be a battle. Because LA is locked down. They don't let anything past, and Edmonton is all firepower. So these are two oddly matched teams, but it's going to be interesting. But I think Edmonton wins it.
Yeah, the Kings have mastered the art of playing quote unquote boring hockey. They play a trap, they roll 4 deep lines, and that helps. Having good depth and a solid system can lead teams to winning series and even the cup. However,
Yeah,
I will go as far to say is while their depth is great and their system is great, I think a couple players might be able to break right through that system, being McDavid and Draisaitl, but it'll come down to goaltending, as both teams have solid goalies, but goalies who can also be very streaky for both Talbot and Skinner. So it's which version of which goalie are you getting? But I would
yeah,
also go Oilers over
yeah.
Kings, but it'll be tough.
I think it'll also be a bit of a coaching battle because it's gonna be Philip Deneau locking up Connor McDavid, and if they can get him out there and he plays as well as we know as he can play, if he can hold off Connor, then Edmonton's gonna struggle.
Yeah.
So this is kind of interesting to me because I kind of had spent a little time thinking about this one particularly because we're going in the playoffs with goalies, especially on either side, that are just they're not looking their best. They had been during the season. They've been kind of looking a little rough. I think this is going to be a high scoring series, honestly, just because the goaltending has been that rough. And the Kings can kind of just randomly catch fire when it comes to scoring. And they can just throw anybody out there and they'll just score, it seems like, no matter what. But in the end, I decided to go with the Oilers just because their offense is so unrelenting. It just is. They get past those defenses like you were talking about. It's over. They're gonna get past it 3 or 4 or 5 more times. They're gonna put Hyman right in front of the net. Gonna tap it in, and it's gonna be 6-4, 6-3 Edmonton in the third period. It's just kind of how it seems to be happening lately, and how it's probably gonna end up at the end of it all. So I have them winning in 6, and yeah, that's what I think.
All right. So the next section on our bracket thing, now that we've finished the Western Conference, we got to pick how many games each series will go. So we'll start with Dallas. How many do you guys think that goes? I'm going to say 6 or 7. I'd be happy with that.
I think I said 6. I will go 6.
I said 4.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hayden, I don't think so.
We'll go
Probably
with
not.
6.
If the reigning champs get
Yeah.
swept,
I'd love it.
I mean, they don't look good.
Harry wants chaos.
All right. Winnipeg Avs. How many games are we thinking that?
7, all the way.
7. What's your take, Hayden?
I said 5.
I'll go 6. We'll put her a 6.
We'll do 6, middleman.
Let's go
there.
6
down
then.
the middle. Vancouver Predators. I'd say 7 for this one.
7. I'm
Sure.
yeah.
7's fine.
Consensus.
One of
And
the
then
closest ones.
Some
Oilers.
long series in the
hey,
West.
more hockey.
I can't
Oilers
complain.
Kings. I'll go
I say
6.
6. Yeah, 6.
I was gonna say 7. Wasn't it last time it went to 7?
I have.
I
no
think
idea.
you're
I
right.
think so,
Hayden,
yeah.
Actually.
I think it's gonna happen again, but we'll go 6. That's fine.
All right.
We'll see what
Now
happens.
on to the East.
I think we start at the bottom.
You want to
for
start
this
off
one.
at the bottom? All right.
Yeah, I
we'll
wanna
go with
start
the
off
Yeah,
the
I
bottom.
like this.
This, in my opinion, might be one of the more boring matchups we see. And I'm not trash talking either team, but the Islanders and the Hurricanes are both solid, deeper, low scoring teams. Like they play shutdown hockey. The Islanders have been hot. I believe they're 8-1-1 in their last 10. And if they roll with Varlamov, he's been on fire too. But the Canes have also been pretty warm. So I'm going to go Carolina in this one just due to the fact I think they're a more talented team. But I could see the Islanders upsetting them.
Yeah, Islanders 8-2 in their last 10.
Yeah, that's
That's kinda nuts.
I agree. Sebastian Aho versus Sebastian Aho. And I think Sebastian Aho is going to take it. Carolina. I think it's I think 5 games.
Yeah, I'm right with you, James. I had Carolina winning in 5. I mean, the thing of it is, it's kind of Frederick Anderson came back and he's made a statement big time since coming back. He's been one of the best goalies in the league, and he makes it look easy in that too. The Islanders just don't score that much, and they're going to be going against one of the best goalies ever since the All-Star break. I do not see how. I almost had it as a sweep because I almost don't even see how they even win a game against Carolina. But things can happen, and again, like you said, the Islanders have been kind of on fire. They can probably get a win in there somewhere, but eh, I just don't think they can stop Carolina. They can't stop that train. I just don't think so.
No, I
No.
definitely agree. I go Carolina as well. I think it'll be like 6, but yeah, it's if the Islanders make it through that round, it will be probably the biggest upset of the first round. Well,
Yeah.
unless this
What-
next
what-
series
Yeah, well,
goes
yeah.
wrong.
I think this is the most lopsided series. We have one of the worst teams to make the playoffs since 1990. I don't think they get a game on the Rangers. The Rangers are solid. If Shesterkin can show up 50%, they're gonna walk through them.
So I just want to say right now, I am petrified about this round. All right, I'm a Rangers fan. Okay, if we fuck this shit up and we lose to the Capitals in the first round, I will lose my ever loving mind. My monitor will be out my window, and so will my computer, because there is no way the President's Trophy winning Rangers should lose to the damn Capitals in 2024. So, but knowing the Rangers, I know that can happen, and that kind of terrifies me. So we better, they better perform. Panarin, show up, buddy. That's all I'm saying.
as an Igor Shesterkin fantasy owner, I feel you. I know that they can just lose games that they have in hand and should easily win. So, I mean, I realistically think the Rangers should have a cakewalk through this. Maybe lose one game due to a
Yeah.
steal from Lindgren or Ovechkin deciding, you know what, I'm putting the team on my back. But the
Old
Rangers,
man Ovi.
the Rangers should walk through this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we say this, and then Old Man Ovi's gonna have 3 hat tricks in a row to advance the Capitals at the friggin' next
Well,
round of the
Hayden,
playoffs.
you doubt your favorite, not so favorite player, the breadman Artemi Panarin. He scored 120 points this season. Has he really let
I
you down?
loved him. I loved him in the regular season. I'm petrified of his postseason. All right, let's get it together,
then-
guys.
Then you just
Lock
put your
in.
faith in Adam Fox, and let's head to the next series.
Yes, we'll
This
see.
one is going to be a bloodbath. I am excited to watch this, and I don't want either team to win. Personally, I don't know.
Me neither.
I
Probably
don't
the most
know-
historical series we have.
Yeah, so
Very
Bruins,
rich history.
Leafs is what we're talking about, and this one, it's gonna be brutal. This is gonna be one that goes 7, I think. And personally, my decision is gonna be based on goaltending. While last season the Bruins choked in the playoffs, they sucked, and their goaltending struggled due to injury mostly. They have Allmark and Swayman. The Leafs have Samsonov, who, when hot, is amazing, and when cold, you might as well not have a goalie on the ice. So there's your problem. I personally, I'm picking Boston, but I can see this going either way.
I think
yeah.
this is our first disagreement. However much I may hate them, I think Toronto's gonna do it. I don't think it's gonna even go to 7. I think they do it in 6. At one point, Austin Matthews has to figure out how to play playoff hockey. They won a round. That pressure's off. I think they buckle down and they beat the Bruins once and for all.
Wow, it comes up
Damn.
to you, Hayden. You're the tiebreaker here.
So I'm going to start off by saying that this is the series I am the most excited to watch. I don't have it going to 7, I'll say that, but this is the series I'm ready to watch the most. You got two of the most physical teams in the league going against each other. They hit a lot. They're going to hit each other a lot. You're going to goal scoring force galore on multiple lines on both these teams. You have, one side that has some great goalies, and you have the other side that have goalies that, like James said, they're great. Or if it's James, or if it's you, Harry, that's it. But Miles doesn't have a goalie in that. Or, they're just there for a participation trophy or something. But, like, when it comes down to it, what team do I think is going to overshoot the next? What team is going to be able to get at least one or two more pucks in the net more often than the other? And when I look at it on paper, I I think Toronto is going to beat Boston and move to the next round.
Wow, I was not expecting that. All right.
Like you said, Matthews has to figure it out.
Yeah.
But when he does figure it out, it might be terrifying. It might be really terrifying to have to go against Matthews in the playoffs. I mean, Nylander's also there too. Marner.
So, yeah. Now, it has to be said, David Pastrnak is a menace against Toronto. 36 points in 28 games. As it said, 19 goals.
Wow.
He's a menace. So it's scary. I think Austin Matthews will come out on top. Mitch Marner, Morgan Riley, and I think Samsonov will play decent enough. They'll get through it.
I think he will.
So while I picked Boston, the Leafs definitely built themselves more to be a playoff hockey team. They've built themselves to be more physical. So I can definitely see it happening. So I'm not gonna put up a huge fight here. This like I said, I think this one goes 7 and hopefully in overtime just to make it that much.
Maybe 4-1.
Oh, let's have a 5 overtime game. Let's do it.
The next
Imagine it goes to 7 and we get 5 OTs. Boston versus Toronto. That game would never end.
Might be the most legendary playoff game in history. If that happens,
I'd have a heart attack.
You want neither of them to score.
Yeah. The next one, Battle of Florida. Who wants to, be the
I'll
best
go
Florida
first.
team?
Florida, the Panthers. They're arguably the best team in the league. That is one solid top to bottom firing team. I'm going Panthers and I'm going in 5.
Wow.
In 5.
5. They're making a statement. They couldn't get it done last year. This year they're coming out and they're going to smack them.
So I will be going with Florida. Listen, this is a personal standpoint. I was also an Andrei Vasilevsky fantasy owner. I witnessed so many losses to so many teams that I was like, well, this should be an easy win. And then I'm like, oh, there go my fantasy points. The Lightning are weaker than they used to be. They are still the Lightning. They do still have Andrei Vasilevsky, and if he turns it up in the playoffs, it can be a problem.
Yeah, however, if Vasilevsky turns it on, it's a quick run to the Cup final.
Yeah. However, Florida has great scoring depth, and if Bob is on the same level, Sergei Bobrovsky, if he's playing great hockey, it's going to be tough to beat him, man. I'm going Florida.
So, yeah. This is my other 7-game one I think there's going to be, personally. Because I have a weird feeling that playoff Vaz is about to arrive. I have a really weird feeling that he's going to. But the thing is that when I was thinking about predictions earlier this year, when it came to the Florida Panthers, they were definitely a thought. But there was one person I didn't take account of because I thought, yeah, he's a good player. He's okay. He's decent. But he's not a game changer, a difference maker. Well, Sam Reinhart has decided that no, I am a difference maker. I am a big goal scorer, and I can change the way a game works. Like, he himself, when you add the fact that they also have Tkachuk, and they have Barkov, they have Verhaeghe, you can't. It doesn't matter what goal you put in net. It just doesn't matter. now you have Reinhardt doing this crazy shit for the Florida Panthers, I don't even think Vazzy can stop him at this point, even if he does show up as playoff Vazzy. So in 7 games, I have the Panthers moving on, beating the Tampa Bay Lightning, but it's not going to be as easy, I don't think.
All right, so we're going with Panthers. Now we get to pick how many games each series will go. So you just said 7 for Panthers Lightning. James, you said
I said 5.
I honestly want to go with 7 in this one as well. So it's gonna be.
I still think Florida's gonna make a statement. Everyone's gonna expect it. They're a playoff Vazzy solid. Florida Panthers, man. Don't discount them. That is a strong, strong team.
I'm not discounting them. I'm just saying it's gonna be. It'll be tough, but I could see it going either way in terms of 7 or 5 games. The next series, Bruins Leafs. Is this a lock for 7 games or?
I said 6. We can settle for 7. Oh, 6.
We can settle
I
for
think
6. Yeah.
I think they can do it.
Great series.
I think the fantastic series. I think Toronto, if it goes to 7, there's no chance they win it. There's no chance.
No, I agree.
But
that's why I said 6. I
think they're gonna need to end it in 6.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Rangers Capitals.
I think 5, just because I know how the Rangers can be.
I'm going 4. I think it's a sweep.
I'm gonna go 5 as well. I mean,
just in case. I know the Rangers. I know my favorite team. It's 5.
I could even see the Rangers dropping 2 games because giving a heartbeat.
I might even cry then.
I could see them going down 2-0 in the series, just not being prepared and then having to dig themselves back.
I thought you were gonna say I could see them losing. Like
I don't. If the Rangers lose, Hayden will never hear the end of it.
I may have to get a new favorite team. I'm gonna say fuck this.
There's one team.
Hey, Montreal beat Toronto. You never know.
All right, Canes Islanders.
A lot more than you think.
This
5.
one, 5.
Yeah, 5. That's
yeah,
why I said
I'll settle on 5. I said 6, but I'll settle with 5. That's a pretty easy series. Now, do we want to go east to west or west to east?
Let's go west again.
Oh,
okay.
West.
We started west. Let's go back.
Yeah. So this top matchup, this is on the west.
Dallas versus Winnipeg.
Yep, Dallas, Winnipeg. This is going to be, I think, the battle of the goalies. I think you may have the 2 greatest goalies left in the playoffs. In Ottinger and Hellebuck, they've both been on fire going into the playoffs. This is going to be a really tough one. This was a tough one for me. Both teams are extremely deep. They have great goaltending and they have great defense, and they play great style hockey for playoffs. This is going to be one of those brutal series that could go to 7, and it could be 2-1, 3-2, 1-0 games in some cases. I'm going to go Dallas in 7, but that's just their leadership, their depth. It's insane. So for me, I'm going Dallas.
Like I said earlier, I think the winner of the Winnipeg-Colorado game is going to the finals. So I'm going Winnipeg. I think I'm going 6. I think Dallas will get 2 games. That's a strong team. I think Winnipeg's just better. Just all around. They're just so deep.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with you there. I think this is a 6-gamer. But Winnipeg, there's just something about Winnipeg that I like more than Dallas in this situation. I just look at their best players, and I look at like their mid-tier players, I guess you'd call it, their second, third lines, and I'm just like, right now, there's just a lot more there with Winnipeg's second and third lines compared to Dallas's. They're just performing better. And Hellebuck is just Hellebuck. Like, Ottinger's great. Hellebuck, man. He's the best goal in the league right now, pretty much. It's just hard to really vote against him. And with how good the Winnipeg offense is right now, how good defensively this team is, They have to beat Dallas. I just don't see how it doesn't happen. So yeah, Winnipeg and 6 is what I'm going with for that.
All right, so we're going as a group with Winnipeg. Now this next series, I might actually get overruled on this one as well. Personally, I think the Canucks are too deep for Edmonton. Listen, McDavid, Draisaitl, they're amazing. Bouchard's great. They've got a Zach Hyman scored 50+ goals. I still don't trust their goaltending, and when it comes to Vancouver, their whole team is deep. And when it comes to Edmonton, I'd say after their top two lines, once McDavid and Draisaitl aren't on the ice, it can get scary for them.
Yeah.
I think they're outmatched. Especially their bottom six lines in terms of forwards. Their bottom six is heavily outmatched by Vancouver, and that could be the dagger right there for me.
Well, I agree Vancouver is strong. I think that if Edmonton can make it through LA, they can make it through Vancouver. I think that if McDavid, if LA, they play the trap, they play solid defense. I think if Edmonton can get through LA, they can get through Vancouver. They'll figure them out, and I think McDavid will be unstoppable. So I'm going Edmonton.
Yeah, I gotta disagree. I really do not like Stuart Skinner. I just do not like. I'm gonna be honest with you at all. I think Vancouver. Again, once you get the top two lines off the ice, that matchup is so just mismatched. Like even like the third line for Vancouver, I think is far better than the third line for Edmonton and so forth. And I don't even think it's even going to be that close, personally. I really don't. I think Vancouver, they're here for a reason. They're going to be playing their ass off like nobody else has ever seen anybody play before. And I think Vancouver is going to have to beat the Predators, who are one of the hottest of hot teams going into the playoffs as of late. I really think Vancouver is going to hurt the Oilers and hurt their fans pretty badly. I'm that confident in how strong Vancouver is, at least in this matchup, just because of the fact that, again, the goaltending with Edmonton comparatively is just horrendous. The defensive play in Edmonton is horrendous compared to Vancouver's. I can't see a world where Vancouver doesn't win that series. So that's just what I think. I think it'll be in 5.
It's tight. It's hard to argue. I'll settle for Vancouver. I still think Edmonton can do it.
Yeah, it'll be pretty intense. But I'm gonna roll with Vancouver, and I think they got it. This is their chance to prove themselves, take down McDavid and Draisaitl, and get themselves to the conference finals.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So
Get their fan base something to cheer about. God.
yeah.
Oh,
Next is a matchup that in my bracket I personally hadn't prepared for. Panthers, Leafs. This one, let's hear some thoughts here.
Like I said before, Florida Panthers are looking to make a statement. While Toronto is strong, the Panthers are stronger in every single way. I'm going Panthers. I'm going in 6 games.
Yeah, I have the Panthers. I have them winning in 5. I don't think it's going to be particularly close with this one. Honestly, I think Toronto's going to be like happy. Yeah, we beat Boston. Woohoo! And then they're going to get absolutely shat on in the next round because the Panthers are the Panthers. I don't. Because it comes back down to goaltending again. Samsonov's just a wild card. You don't know what you're going to get. With Florida, Bob is extremely consistent. You know what you're going to get from Bobrovsky when he goes on the ice. And if something happens to Bobrovsky, you have Anthony Stolarz behind, who's shown in his limited starts that, yeah, he's pretty good. He's a pretty good backup too, but that's only if Bob gets hurt. Otherwise, he'll be starting every game. But, Bob's just a way more consistent goaltender. He'll be able to hold his own. Florida will be able to hold its own. And they're just going to score a lot more than Toronto's going to. That's how I see it's going to be, and I think Florida gets in 5.
So maybe this is me playing a little devil's advocate then. I like Florida. I don't think the Leafs go out easy. I think the Leafs are going to put up a fight. They got bullied last year by Florida. Florida made them change their whole structure of how they built a team. They used to be the super skill, but not really physical. They are a lot more physical. They made sure to get physical this year. I still am going to go Panthers, and I'm going to say 6. I could see 7, but the Panthers are a weapon. But I don't think Toronto is going to go out easy. They're going to give it everything they have because they got embarrassed last year, and I think they're going to be gunning for revenge. But I don't think they're going to be able to do it. I think it'll be a better series than we might think, and I'm going to go Florida in the end.
7-game series
Yep,
would be very
agree.
fun to watch for those two. To be
It
fair,
would be entertaining hockey. I mean, I hope for our sake every series goes 7 games. But more hockey the better for me. Now, this next one is interesting. You've got the Battle of the Metropolitan Division. The New York Rangers versus the Carolina Hurricanes. Hayden, you're a Rangers fan. I'll let you lead off on this one.
so when you're a Rangers fan and you're a Cowboys fan and you are a Dodgers fan, there's a theme when it comes to having fantastic teams and in one way or another being disappointed. I am prepared to be disappointed after the second round of the playoffs when the Carolina Hurricanes beat the Rangers in a 7-game series. Because that's what I think
Wow.
is going to happen. And I hate to say it, but there's something about Carolina's team. It's just a little too scary for me. Frederick Anderson, again, he scares me. Sebastian Aho really scares me because he decided he wanted to be one of the best players ever in the last half of the season. So, he's him there. And again, the depth of that team's kind of stupid. The young player depth too. It's just kind of stupid. And they got Jake Gensel. I I I just don't see it. I see us winning games. I don't see us being in 4 times though. And because of that, I think Carolina moves on.
To be completely honest, forgot Jake Gensel was on this team.
Yeah, see, that's the issue.
That does make it tough. I don't know. This is gonna be a tough series. Personally, I'm going with the Rangers. They're too good to not make a good run at it.
I agree.
I feel like this is, if the Rangers don't go far in these playoffs, they're just gonna age out. I mean, Panarin is only getting older. Trouba, everyone's Zibanejad, Trocheck, they're all getting older. I feel like this is their shot to go deep. And Carolina's a great team. They're built well, but I've said in the past they lack the superstar talent. I don't know if they necessarily lack the superstar talent. They've got a lot of depth and they've got good depth. I just don't think it's enough to overcome Igor Shesterkin and the Rangers. And if Shesterkin's on, I'm taking the Rangers all day.
See, I don't necessarily think that they have superstar talent, but they have people currently playing like superstars. That's the key thing. And again, Aho and Anderson is what comes to mind. Comes to the playing like it.
Yeah, I agree more with Harry. I think the Rangers will do it. I think this is the year they can do it. Lafreniere took a step. He's playing fantastic. Kreider as always. Zibanejad as always. Panarin playing amazing this year, 120 points. And then they got Fox and on the back, like Shesterkin too. Shesterkin plays well. They're going to do well. They're going to go far. I think they win it, and I think they win it in 7.
And I hope I'm wrong. I really hope. I'm just setting myself up for disappointment so that I won't feel as bad when it eventually happens. And I hope at least if we do lose, it will be in 7 to show that at least we gave it all. But we'll see,
All
because I know what happens next if we do win.
right. So
And
now, yeah,
go ahead.
now we've got our conference finals matchups. We've got the Jets and Canucks and Panthers Rangers. We'll start with Jets and Canucks. I'll let James take the lead on this.
Winnipeg Jets. I think they're the best built team. They're the strongest goaltender. They have one of the deepest forward groups. I think Winnipeg Jets. I think this is a long one, though. I think it takes them 7.
I'll agree
Yeah.
with you on this one. I think Winnipeg's taking it. I like Vancouver to get to the conference finals. This is a big step for them. They're a younger team in most cases. They've got the good veteran mix in there, but I think Winnipeg takes them in 6.
Yeah, listen, Vancouver. It was very cute. They made it this far, right, buddy? It was very nice. It was nice to see. But Winnipeg's just too terrifying. They just are. They are the best Canadian team right now, and not only are they the best Canadian team, they're easily one of the best teams. They got the depth, defense, goaltending is just a step better than Vancouver's, and it's just simple as that. I think it ends in 6. I'll give Vancouver that, but I think Winnipeg definitely will still look dominant in every game. Just a couple maybe slight missteps.
All right, so now to the east, we've got the Florida Panthers and the New York Rangers. And I mean, looking at these two teams right now, it's closer in my head than I thought it would be. Honestly, for me, this is another of those series that could go either way. It's going to be a very tough matchup. What do you guys think?
It's so difficult because the Rangers are so strong, but then you look at the Panthers lineup, and it's just top to bottom. First line: Tarasenko, Barkov, Reinhart. For Hagee, Bennett, Tkachuk. They got Lundell, Rodriguez on the third. I mean, their defense is strong. If Bob plays well, I think they can do it. I think Panthers can get to the final again. I think it's 6 games.
Yeah, hey, like honestly, if I don't know. So yeah, I was used to like Florida and Carolina when I made my bracket. Um, looking at it, if the Rangers do get here, I think we could probably get to 6 games with them. Against Carolina, I have Florida shutting them out for nothing. To be perfectly honest with you, if I'm being honest. But against the Rangers, if we do get past Carolina, I think we give it our all. But man, Florida's just got way too much positives on that team. It's just too much. Shesterkin has been getting a lot better, but
Yeah,
I can't. I see
if we see the
Barkov.
shaky goaltending that we have all season from Shesterkin,
Yeah,
it'll be
that's a
difficult.
worry. And like I said, it's just too many. You had to face off against Reinhart, Barkov, and just multiple times in a row. It's just tiring. You just can't. They're just so offensively just at you, and have to do that. Like we might end up winning like the first game or two, but then just the relentlessness of them and the stamina they have is just no.
Yeah, and don't forget, Matthew Tkachuk plays playoff hockey. I mean, last
Yeah.
year,
Oh God,
that dude played with broken everything. And
Yeah.
his style of play, gritty, physical, goal scoring. He's an amazing player. It's going to
and
be
he's
tough to
healthy.
play against him. And yeah,
That we
He's
know
healthy
of.
healthy
Matthew
this time
Tkachuk.
around.
Well, healthier
Oh.
then. He's not playing with a broken collarbone and rib cage, and it was a sternum actually, which is insane to play through.
Having to
But
get help to get undressed.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna go Panthers in 6.
6, yeah.
Yep, I agree.
So now, the Stanley Cup Finals, the Winnipeg Jets versus the Florida Panthers. Let's hear it, boys. Who's taking home the cup this year?
I said it from the beginning. The winner of the Winnipeg Jet Colorado Avalanche game, it's going to be the Winnipeg Jets. They're going to do it. It's going to take them 6 games. We're going to have a cup back in Canada.
All right, what are your thoughts, Hayden?
This will be a 7-game series. And I think it's gonna be an OT game. Just one OT. We're not gonna get too crazy here. But I think it's gonna be a Sam Reinhart goal that wins Florida Panthers a Stanley Cup.
Hayden, if
I
that happens,
really
I'll give you $100.
I'm telling you, Sam Reinhart needs game to play
If
this
the
year.
Florida Panthers take the Winnipeg Jets to OT Game 7 and Sam Reinhart scores the goal,
Hell yeah, I'll take the 100. Miles just send it to me now. It's what's gonna happen.
all right.
So I'm the tiebreaker. I get to decide who wins the Stanley Cup. I love it. Winnipeg, we've been riding them the whole way of they are one of the best teams in the league. They've got the best everything. Except I'm going Florida. I think Florida's got the way. They've got the talent. They've played that physical hockey. I think Florida is going to take the Jets. And it'll be a very close series. I think it ends in 6. I think Florida takes it in 6. And Matthew Tkachuk is going to be the reason why. Other than Sergei Bobrovsky, I think Matthew Tkachuk, if he's playing top-of-the-line hockey, I think it's going to be hard for the Jets to figure out. And I think the Florida Panthers are going to take home the Stanley Cup. Now, there's a tiebreaker question. How many goals do you think are scored in this final? So if you guys are saying 7 games, and I'm saying 6, we'll go 7. What's a random number?
I said 29 in mine.
29.
Which is about 4 goals a game. 7 games.
Yeah, I think I originally went 6 my first mate, then I changed my mind afterwards. I think we're gonna have 48 goals scored in 7 games.
48. Wow.
It's gonna be bloody.
I think I went with 40, but this part doesn't really matter. The part that matters most is that according to our bracket, the Florida Panthers are going to win the Stanley Cup. You have it, folks.
Winnipeg Jets.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just like, but honestly, I have them going to Game 7 OT. It's like it really could go either way with these two teams. It's very, very close between them. It's just kind of funny because like the Jets have ran, for me at least, seem to just kind of like ran under the radar. It's like we're talking about all these other more flashy teams, and then here's just the Jets being the Jets, one of the best teams in the league. Like, yeah, here we are. We're leading the standings, tons of wins and stuff. Oh, we're about the Panthers. We're about the Avalanche. Oh, okay, that's fine. It's okay. But secretly nobody's been talking about it, but they're just one of the best teams in the league. But it'll be fun. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's a really good playoff. Every matchup is good. I'm excited to watch all of them.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. It's playoff time, baby.
We're here.
Sweating.
It's not our team, but it's playoff hockey.
Oh, I think that makes it easier this year for us Habs fans. We get to just watch crazy hockey go down. We'll be there soon, boys. The Habs will be there soon. But as of right now, here we go. Playoff time coming soon. And hey, according to the boys from the North, it's the Florida Panthers taking home the Stanley Cup.